1, 2, 3, 4. Hey guys, this week I wanted to talk about in my Friday video the fact that I leave for boot camp in 5 days. Oh my god. I'm so scared. I don't even know how to begin, how terrified I am. I wanted to make this video to kind of like talk about why I'm scared, why it matters to be scared, and why it's healthy and you're not crazy and you're not gonna fail and boot camp isn't gonna be what you think it is. So that's what we're gonna talk about this week. Terrified is an understatement. Where do I start? Well, I guess what this video is kind of gonna like reflect is if you're leaving for boot camp in a couple days, a week, month, however long, whatever branch you're going into. I'm going into the Air Force, but this video is for your peace of mind and to have somebody telling you who's in your situation, who hasn't gone to boot camp yet, that it's going to be okay and there's nothing to worry about. My story is kind of unique. I am 22 years old. I haven't gone to school yet. I've been a wife, an Army wife, and it was hard and weird, and I didn't really take time for myself. I kind of just, which isn't bad, I dived into my marriage and I got to know my husband and it was awesome. I just had like part-time jobs and it wasn't sustaining and I wanted to go to school, but there was no programs for me as a military wife that gave me what I wanted. And I kind of have always wanted to join the military, but I gave myself a reason not to. And so I decided to join. At the time I decided to join, I was real fat, and I'm talking like 252 pounds fat. I was 242 pounds overweight, and for my height limit, I'm 5'8", so I needed to be 180 pounds to join the Air Force, which is the military branch that I wanted. Yeah, it was a whale, and I needed to lose the weight. I don't have the motivation, and even like to join. At first, I just didn't have the motivation, and I met my husband's parents. And they invited me into their home. And these people have put 2 kids through some of the hardest jobs in the military. So I'll give it to them that they have the skills. Like, they taught me how to actually work out each one of my muscles, how to eat right, why what I'm eating is eating right, and like basically how to lose weight rapidly and get me to my goal. And I've lost 70 pounds since then. I started around last year. I can't remember when, but I know it's been at least 6 or 7, closer to actually to 7 or 8 months since I started, and I've lost a lot of weight. And now I've joined. I signed my contract, and I leave in 5 days. Like I said, I'm not panicking. I'm okay. I'll be fine. It's just the scariest thing in the world. And after all the training and all the working, and I'm physically fit now, as I like to think. I have a pretty good run time. I can pass the PT test. I actually get I took a mock PT test with my DEP program and I got like a 90%. So I think I'm doing fairly well. And it took a lot to get there, but I'm still so nervous for basic. And it's okay to be nervous for basic. If you're getting ready to go to basic and you're terrified, it's okay. It's completely normal. If you weren't panicked, it would be wrong. I think that you wouldn't want it enough. So if you're nervous, slightly nervous, really nervous, there's nothing wrong with you and you're normal. There are a lot of things to take in hand when the fact that we're joining the military. You're signing, 4 to 6 years of your life to the government. That's one. You're leaving your family behind. If you're married, you're leaving your spouse, all the bills, your family, everything you know. Maybe the worry that you're not physically fit. That's a huge worry of mine. Even as physically fit as I feel, there's 30 minutes I've heard of running in the Air Force every other day. And that's just hard. It's hard to run for 30 minutes straight. There are plenty of things to be worried about. It's definitely crumbling under the mental pressure is one of them. MTIs, their whole job is to get in your head. It's all a mind game. They're still trying to get in your head, make you think you're not worth it, because they're trying to make you stronger. They're trying to make you tougher and think that you can and be a soldier, and it's scary. I know that some people deal with cold feet, thinking that a couple days before they leave or a month, they're like, oh, I think I've changed my mind. I don't know if I want to do it. Doubting their choices, doubting how many years they did. Don't doubt yourself. Don't let that get into your head, because even something that you don't actually feel can just fog your head and make you think things that aren't real. I mean, honestly, if you have worked hard, or if you've worked towards a goal, maybe you've lost some weight, maybe you have decided this and you've told all your family and friends, just know that you are probably stronger than you think you are. You're probably tougher mentally than you think you are. And you can do it. I looked up a statistic that 15% of people each year fail from boot camp in all of the military branches. 15%. And that kind of seems kind of big, but it's not, because with that poll that they took, and the 3 things that made people not graduate boot camp or made them be recycled or fail was that they were egotistical maniacs, they aren't joining for the right reasons, and they refuse to be helped. If you're an egotistical maniac, you are most likely so confident that no one can teach you anything. You can't grow. 2, if you're joining for the wrong reasons, if your number 1 reason isn't just to serve your country, that's okay. Maybe you're joining for school, maybe for the benefits, maybe to give structure in your life, but the initial goal, through all the bad days when sometimes your benefits aren't pulling through, and the days that your unit isn't letting you go to school yet, your initial reason for joining should be to take care of your country and your family. And then the 3rd is that you refuse to be helped. If you're failing mentally or physically, you can still pull out of it in basic. There are programs, for instance, in the Air Force, I've heard that there are different belts that you wear in physical training. Physical training is a huge thing that I'm worried about. So if something you're worried about, this is something that will help you. Depending on the colors, it is your level of where you are physically with your run time, or your push-ups or your sit-ups. One color, maybe red, for instance, will mean that your runtime isn't as good as it should be, and you're kind of on the lower spectrum. Blue maybe mean that you're the best. Yellow means you're in the middle. I've also been told that if you progress and you start with a certain belt and you get higher and higher, MTIs want to see that. That's success. You don't have to go into basic being Iron Man. They know that you're going to come in and this is going to be crazy. It's boot camp. It's going to be high intensity. They want it to be a challenge for you. They want you to learn something there. The whole point of going into the military is them tearing you down and making you a warrior. That is the whole point. So, not to seem, go military, but if you're worried about going in and thinking that you're not physically fit, there are people going in who haven't done a day of training in their entire life. Most of the military training is school, and that's another thing. If you're worried about, failing your tech school or not being smart enough, my tech school is going to be 86 days. So they are taking their time out to make sure that and you have a couple chances. You can fail the big tests and you can retake them. There's people there that want you to pass. If you're a factual person like me, I needed facts, knowing that I wasn't going into something and I was just going to waste my time and fail and leave and suck at life. And one of those things is the military. When you go to MEPS, before you enlist, before you do anything, and you go to MEPS and you pee in a cup and do all those tests. Most of those tests are super expensive. All of those go on your name. They don't want you to fail. They don't want you to go to MEPS and then fail because the government has then wasted money on you. There's these myths going around that people are going to MEPS or going to basic and they're getting recycled and kicked out for little things just because the military is trying to cut down. But those things they don't happen. And the few cases that do happen are super tragic, and it's probably usually just a misunderstanding. And those people that did that to you are just terrible at their jobs. Even if you get kicked out and you get recycled, you can get waivers. You can join another military branch. There's always a way for you. So don't get discouraged if you're nervous. Look at the the proof of everything. Look at the facts of things. Write things down. What makes it worth it for me is that, I'm serving my country. I'm doing what I can for people. My goal is to get paralegal when I'm in after a couple years, cross-train into a different MOS, hopefully paralegal, and to get my degree when I'm in and fight for people. That's my goal. And the Air Force is my tool to make me a better person. And I know that I can pass basic if I just put my mind to it. It's so metaphoric to think all of this. If you just go into it with a bad mindset, you're gonna fail. Basic is made to weed people out like that. And the only reason you're gonna get recycled or anything like that is if you go in a bad mindset. You can be nervous, because everyone is. But don't let it short circuit your progress. I'm going to be a water and systems fuel maintenance tech. I can't even say it. A plumber. I'm a glorified plumber. But, I'm using it as a tool for my life. And I'm looking at it like I'm serving my country and I'm doing the best I can. I'm taking care of my husband and I'm cultivating myself. I'm becoming someone better than what I used to be. Spend those last couple days hugging your family members and just have fun. I don't know how I feel, honestly, but I'm literally Nick, what if I lose my ID before I go and then I can't go to basic? Nick, what if I gain rapidly 10 pounds out of nowhere and then I can't go to basic? Nick, what if one of the cats blows up? I can't go to basic. I'll miss them too much. I have to take them to the vet. I'm gonna die. Take it from someone who knows what it feels like to panic. Don't panic. You're gonna do good. I don't know if this is the last YouTube video that I'll post before I leave, but if it is, I will see you guys when I get back. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time, whenever that may be. Thanks, guys.